Hey guys, this is Jessica, and I just kind of wanted to go over what what we've talked about in our training over Google Classroom. So in this little video, I'm just going to kind of briefly review with you just some basics of Google Classroom. If you will look to this is my little picture. If you will go down, this is what we call your Google, just your apps. You will go to Classroom. This is where how you can get to your Google Classroom. Also, the lovely app that I'm using is going to be Screencastify. I prefer Screencastify. Screencastify, you can do up to 5 minutes for free and you can edit videos and such. If you pay $25 a year, you get unlimited editing, unlimited time. To me, it's worth the $25. Definitely something to check out if you like to do the video. And I'll talk more about Screencastify in just a minute. If you go here, this is all of your different classes. Now I'm going to be using my personal Google Classroom site instead of my classroom just because of my kids. But this is what it would look like. And here's your guys' AHS training. So this is actually going to be what you will share with your students. You're going to have a class code. And this is what you would give to your kids when they very first come in to be able to join your class. Now, I will tell you this is very similar to Facebook, and I always joke with the kids, hey, they can make comments and such, but it's usually not a great idea. You can upload and select the theme or change this up here. There are going to be 4 different parts. There's going to be the stream, which is what you see right here. There's going to be a classwork, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The people, these are all the people that are going to be in your class. You can have a teacher and then a student. You guys are going to be students in this particular class. You are a teacher. If you are in an inclusion situation, this would be really good to have your teacher be a co-teacher. And how you would do that is you go to invite teacher, you would type in their name or their email and start typing it like I would type in Alexis or Miss Y's email, and I would ask her to be my co-teacher. And if she's a co-teacher, she has the same abilities I have to where I can grade things and do all that kind of good stuff. Your students, this will be down here. So you can add students individually or you can just give them a class code. And then grades. This is, because I don't have any students, I don't have any grades. This is one way that you can actually grade things. And depending on what your school system is, I'm not sure with Schoology if you are able to get them to come one-to-one. But I know we're Infinite Campus, and so our 2 things are about to merge. So hopefully we'll be able to streamline our grading. But let's get to the most important things. So we have our stream. What you're going to do is anytime you want to share something with your class, whether it be an announcement or anything, you would type it in here. So I'm going to type. Okay, so I just typed in, this is the website where all the resources can be found. To add something to this, I'm going to go to add. You can do a few things. You can do a Google Drive, so something that's in your Google Drive, so maybe a PowerPoint or even a worksheet that you want the kids to have, or a study guide or a hyperdoc, a link, a file, and YouTube. This is going to be a link that I'm going to share with you guys. This is the particular website that I have created, or a part on my website for you to be able to go to get all of these different trainings and resources for you. You go to post, and here you go. It's going to show up. And you can make it where it says add class comment. So this is where you can actually make it where the students can be able to comment back and forth. If you don't want them to comment back and forth, you can actually mute them, which is kind of nice. Now, if you go to your classwork, this is important because this is where you can create quizzes and more. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But to go to create, you can do assignment, quiz assignment, question, material, reuse, post, and topic. Anytime that you're going to do like one big section, you want to have a topic. So I'm going to do slides to give you some more information about Google Slides. So you can see it's going to come here. And anytime that I create something and I put it under slides, it's going to work the same way. So maybe I had a new presentation for you. I'll go to create and I would do material. And I would just share what the material was, who's it's all to, and the topic. Now, one cool thing about Google Classroom is you can actually give each student their own individual assignment. And so you're able to differentiate for your students, which is great. Another thing that's really cool is, like I said, you can do topics, or you can even do a variety of students. So maybe you have 3 or 4 students who are struggling with one certain topic. You could have them do this. So that would be material. You can also have an assignment. And this is how you can tell them. You can do a rubric, or you could even do the points and how it's going to be evaluated, title, instruction, and then add. I will give you a suggestion. If you do a worksheet, there is a way to do, there's 3 different options. The students can view it, or the students can have a copy made of their own. If you let the students have a copy made of their own, it's actually going to allow them to make their own copy, and it won't be such a struggle for everybody. If you do that, then each student's able to have their own copy, and you're not having to go back and forth. It can be kind of frustrating, but it works. Google Classroom is really great because you can have the students have their Google Calendar associated with the Google Classroom, and you can add when things are due and notifications. Also, if you are a special ed teacher, you could do IEPs at meeting. Or if you're maybe like a department head, this is one really good way that you can share something with everyone. I will be attaching some different calendar and some other resources for you guys to peruse, but this just kind of gives you a good idea of what you're able to do.